So this week, hashtag justice for Ochanya was trending, and I was inquisitive and decided to go in, dig deep, find out what exactly is going on, how we got here, what are the issues on ground, and I said I should come and gist you of the full story, the tragic story of Ochanya and how we all failed her. Hello and welcome to Eccentric Side. My name is Uche, and don't forget to like, share, and importantly, subscribe. Let's go to 500 subscribers. Ready? Let's go. So, the story begins from a little village where Ochanya was from. Her mother had given birth to 10 children and had just given birth to the 11th one. And she realized that her 11th child seems to be brighter than the bunch. She wanted her daughter Ochanya to go to school, have the opportunity to compete fairly with her peers. But then they did not have a school in their community because the only school they had was one which had closed down due to lack of funding. They could not pay teachers. Now, Ochanya, she now realized that she had a sister that stays in the city center in Benue. And then she called up her sister and told her sister that she would like her daughter to come and stay with her so she has the opportunity to go to school, learn, and have an equal playing ground to compete with her peers. Her sister agreed, and off Ochanya went to stay with her auntie. According to the story, Ochanya went there at 5. But then around when she was 8 years old, her cousin, who is her auntie's son, began to touch her in the wrong places. In fact, story says he actually was having intimate knowledge of the child. The social media people call it gripping, but anyway, you get the point. So was having intimate knowledge of the child and then was caught by his sister. More about the sister in this video. Was caught by his sister who went and reported to the father. The father heard about it, came to the son, criticized his son, condemned his actions, and blamed him that this is your cousin. How will you be doing this to your cousin? If the story had ended here, would have assumed this was a good father, but no, he had to have his own knowledge of this child. And so that was how the father also joined in gripping this child. So for years and years, Ochanya kept on being assaulted by both father and son. Now, the daughter was the one that found out and reported to the father, so it means the daughter was aware. And it also looks like the mother of the son, also aka the wife of this shameless man, was also aware and covering up for her family. And then story says she kept on falling sick and they kept on taking her to the hospital. She was the time she was even on admission for weeks, and then when she was admitted, somehow she fell sick again. And then when the daughter was trying to when Ochanya's sister, who had come to spend some time with her sister in her auntie's house, realized that my sister keeps on falling sick. Instead of us to call the nurse that the mother of one or the wife of the shameless man was recommending, the Ochanya sister said, no, let's take her back to the hospital. At least she was on admission. It looks like she has relapsed. Let's take her back and find out what exactly is going on. But then the mother was like, are you trying to say I'm not a mother to your sister? And she was taking offense unnecessarily to what was going on. But then the sister said that there's something wrong somewhere. If you are refusing proper medical attention, it looks like you have an idea of what is going on. And so you're just trying to find a way to cover up. So because maybe they have taken her to the hospital might, speak publicly about how it looks like this, child is being taken advantage of. But then no, the mother insisted, and then instead of rushing to the hospital, she saw that as a ground to send the child away. This happened back in 2018 when the story was exposed. Eventually, a few people picked this up. It went to the court. But then the case was closed, dismissed and closed due to apologies for that. So the case was closed due to lack of proper evidence, and eventually that was the end of it. Now Ochanya has passed, and then the case has resurfaced because remember that sister that saw and reported to the father and then eventually kept quiet. She's now a social media influencer and a lawyer. Pardon me, 1 minute. Oh yeah, and remember the brother who started the whole thing is now a musician, and so people investigated them and started talking about it online, and eventually we ended up here. It's really dark.
Stop recording button.